Hello, everyone. I'm Danilo de Oliveira Silva, the incoming editor-in-chief of the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation. And today, I'm here to make a very important announcement. After a very competitive selection process, I'm happy to announce that Dr. Erin Macri is the new deputy editor of the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation. Welcome to the team, Erin.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Erin, could you please share with our audience your professional background and what led you to work in the sport rehabilitation field?
Yeah, thanks, Danilo. Yep, so my name is Erin, and I am currently an assistant professor at the Erasmus MC University Medical Center in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Although, as you can probably tell from my accent, I am not Dutch, so I'm actually Canadian. Originally, yeah, born and raised in Vancouver. My background is in physiotherapy. I worked as a private practice physiotherapist for about 10 years in Canada, plus about a year in New Zealand. Prior to that, I worked for about 7 years actually as a kinesiologist. Also in Vancouver, I was a personal trainer, group fitness classes, as well as private practice rehabilitation settings. So that's my clinical background. Finished my PhD in 2017 at the University of British Columbia in Canada under the supervision of Professor Karim Khan, who probably many of you know. And I've also had the pleasure to do some research fellowships and a postdoc in several different countries. So I've actually done research or clinical care in about 5 different countries: Canada, America, in Boston, and at the University of Delaware, um, Australia, New Zealand, and now the Netherlands.
That sounds great. And as you can see, Erin has an extensive clinical and research background and experience, and that's why we are very happy with our choice. And Erin, regarding editorial experience, what experiences have you had in academic publishing or editorial roles prior to this appointment?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, Karim Khan was my supervisor during my PhD, and so I was very blessed to get a lot of mentoring from him actually early on in my career. Many of you will know him as the previous editor-in-chief for the British Journal of Sports Medicine, as well as the one of the primary co-authors for Bruckner and Kahn's clinical sports medicine textbook, which was, of course, a mainstay for me during my education. So Karim was an excellent mentor and gave me a lot of really great opportunities early on to work in the editorial arena. So I started off with writing several chapters actually for clinical sports medicine. So I have some textbook writing experience. Also ended up being a model for many of the photos in that textbook. So some of you might have even seen my face there. So I wrote some chapters on pre-participation physical examinations, military medicine, neck pain, and more recently, patient-reported outcome measures. As far as working in a journal capacity, I started off on the editorial team with arthritis care and research and British Journal of Sports Medicine, and became an associate editor, and I've been handling manuscripts since about 2017.
That sounds great. Uh, and now the big question. Why the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation? Like, what were the main reasons driving you to apply for this position? And also, a second question in that one, what potential did you see in the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation when you applied?
Yep. Thanks, Danilo. Well, first off, I saw you actually posted the job position, and since I've known you for I think about 10 years now through the Patellofemoral Pain Research Network, I knew that it would be exciting to work with you because you're a great your leadership is bar none, and I'm really looking forward to working alongside you, Danilo. So I'm very excited about that. Um, I I feel like peer review is a mainstay of what we do in academia, and so of course all of us are participating in peer review on an ongoing basis. And there've been a lot of interesting developments, I think, in recent years, use of AI and how to handle ensuring that we have high quality research reaching our end users. But I think for me, the opportunity to give back and to serve the greater scientific community is really exciting for me to take on more responsibilities in this field. Um, I really find, like me personally, ethics is what really drives me. So learning more about how I can contribute to upholding the scientific integrity and quality of scientific research, ultimately to benefit athletes and clinicians and coaches and their family members, just all of the end users that benefit from quality scientific research in sports rehabilitation.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
absolutely.
And then you wanted to ask the second question is the potential of
Yep.
JSR. Yeah, so interestingly, JSR's first issue was actually published the first year that I took an Intro to Kinesiology course. So JSR and I are about the same age when it comes to my interest in this field. And so certainly doing my kinesiology degree, my undergrad, human kinetics textbooks were an incredibly large part of my education. So I've known about and respected the work of human kinetics in general. And then JSR, what I find interesting about JSR that I really appreciate is, first off, their values really resonates with me. So their desire to be an open and diverse journal that really welcomes athletes of all abilities, all backgrounds. That's really important to me. We had the special issue in January of this year on diversity, and I really respect where we're going with that. I love that that there are articles in the journal representing all backgrounds. Um, I also really respect the fact that JSR really focuses on supporting early career researchers. We've all been there, so finding a place where we can find a home in this journal for our work as we're building our careers. That's just it's a really important service to give to the community. So I really respect that. And then as far as my own research, as you know, Danilo, most of my research is in the field of osteoarthritis, which doesn't at first glance look like it's necessarily the same as sport rehabilitation. But the more we're learning about osteoarthritis, the more we're going upstream and looking at early osteoarthritis. And of course, trauma is one of the biggest risk factors for developing osteoarthritis. And so looking at more post-traumatic injury and how to prevent the sequelae of injury in sport is meaningful to me. And so that's where my personal link is with sport rehabilitation.
What are your aspirations for the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation in your role as deputy editor?
Thanks, Danilo. Well, first off, I'm just really excited to be working with you, as I already mentioned. I'm really looking forward to getting to know and working with the editors and the associate editors for the journal, and then just the broader peer review community and the scientific community that's a part of JSR. And I really hope that we can continue to build a sense of community within surrounding the journal. So I think that's probably one of my most important goals is building community. I of course want to uphold the sport rehabilitation field, so I'm looking forward to JSR being involved in publishing high quality and clinically relevant papers going forward. Continuing to support early and perhaps even into mid-career scientists is a goal of JSR that I really look forward to supporting. Growing our international reputation is one of our goals and one of my goals. So I'm looking forward to that. But I also want to do it mindfully and in a way that still stays true to the original culture of the journal and the local culture that has been a part of JSR from the beginning. Um, and ultimately, societal impact, of course, is what's most important about everything that we do in science. So looking at getting clinically relevant knowledge into the hands of the end user so that we can make sure that our athletes have the highest quality of life possible, or either preventing injury or recovering as completely as possible after they've had an injury, and encouraging physical activity amongst people of all ages and all abilities.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward so we can make a very strong impact on that. So, Erin, again, welcome on board. I'm looking forward to working with you, and hopefully we can take the Journal of Sport Rehabilitation to good levels. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for your time. Thanks, Danilo. It's really great to be here, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in the next couple of years.